Good morning, folks. Shout out to my people working that graveyard shift, man. I give y'all props. This is some fuck shit. Thank God this is my last year doing this fuckery, because I can't be fucking with this shit. It's like fucks with your social life and shit. You be tired as fuck when you come off. But I'm making this video for Dark Magician. He was asking how I was able to buy 2 cribs. So basically, one, you gotta have, you gotta have good credit. I mean, even if you got bad credit, you still could do it. It's just your interest rate gonna be high as fuck. But basically, once you have 1 crib, your second crib is gonna be an investment crib. And when an investment crib, you're gonna have to find a lender or go through a bank or whoever you want to go through and apply for a loan. And it's basically the same as you doing a regular, going for a regular mortgage for your first home, except depending on the situation and the bank you with or the lender you use. Like, I'm using Navy Federal, and their freaking guidelines are, it's only go a 15-year mortgage. You can only do a 15-year mortgage, and you have to put 25% down. And that's all banks. The 25% is all of them. Some private lender might get down to, like, I think 15%, but majority of them is 25%. So you gotta have some cash handy too. But one thing you don't want to do when you get in a second crib is you don't want to spend majority of your cash. So you want to download one of those real estate app like Redfin, Zillow, Trulu, and all that, so you could put in 25% and see how much money you have to put down for the second property. And on top of that, you want the seller to pay the closing costs, because you kind of want to keep as much cash on you just in case something goes wrong in either one of your properties, your first house or your investment property. So you don't want to put all your money down. So this would be a good time to probably use some money from your 401k. Take out a 401k loan so you can use that and keep your own money. Because that's kind of what I'm doing. I don't like touching my own personal money. I rather use my 401k and pay myself back. So that's what I did. I used my 401k. I took a loan from my 401k. And I'm going to use that money for the down payment for the second house. And that's how I did it. And I'll kind of recommend that. So at least you have your own money in your savings account for rainy days, or if you want to go somewhere or do whatever, you got money on deck instead of you using your money to put down. Because if you get in a crib like 60,000, that's 17 grand you gotta drop. So you kind of want to be in a balance of, if you got 20 grand in the bank, you probably want to drop 10,000. If you got 30, you might want to go with a 15,000. You always want to do half of what you have in your savings account or in your 401k. It really doesn't matter, because you can only borrow half of what's in your 401k anyway. So I mean, I hope that helps on how you ever do it. But 1, you gotta have your funds up. 2, you gotta have good credit. Even though the only reason to have good credit is because you have a better interest rate. And then you also gotta know where you want your second house to be. Like, do you want it close by where you live? Do you want it in another state? Because I'm doing another state. So then when you do it in another state, you got to give your loan officer, like the county and all that good stuff, your price range. Then they're going to see if you're approved. They're going to give you a pre-approval. Then you can start looking. And once you start looking and you find a spot, that's when you continue with all the extra paperwork, like filing your W-2s, your last pay stub, and all that good stuff. But yeah, if you want me to go, I mean, that's mostly it. But if you want, or I should say, if you have any more questions, just write in the comment section and I'll get back to you and I'll bring out some paperwork. You can check out my last video called Investment, where I actually break down the paperwork of what all goes into a closing costs and basically everything when you're buying a second home. But I'll holler at you. Peace. Keep pushing.